do this, I want you to bring the big toes to touch behind you. And then knees out super, super wide. You'll rest your belly into the space in between your knees. Reach the arms out forward in front of you. Allow the forehead to rest on the ground. And if this isn't happening, you've got a book that you can place or a blanket perhaps. If the hips are really, really high and it's bothering your ankles, please let me know. So I just want you to take these first few rounds just to get into your body. So as you notice the hips, the outer hips, just think about two lines of energy. So you've got one from your sacrum, so by the tailbone, all the way through the crown of your head through the fingertips. And then two, one from the hips all the way down towards the ground. So with each inhalation, think about reaching the crown of the head, the fingertips really, really far forward towards the top of your mat. And then with each exhalation, feel the hips sink a little heavier towards the heels. We'll take one more big breath here. I want you to crawl your left hand off of your mat. Allow the right palm to stack on top. And then you'll nestle your head into the space in between your arms. It's a little bit of a side body stretch here. So as you reach all the way over towards the left, feel the right rib cage expand as you inflate through the right lung. At the same time, allow your hips to be really, really heavy.
Can you tilt your camera down a little so we can see you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So continue to reach all the way over to the left, and then you got one more deep breath here.
That, Kristen.
Okay, set.
That's good.
Yeah.
Tommy.
All right, and then make your way back towards center. And then switch sides. So both palms all the way over towards the right. Allow the left hand to stack on top. And you'll nestle your head into the space in between your arms.
You do it.
So feel the left hip really, really heavy as you expand through the left side of your waist. Nice. Beautiful. Take one more big breath here. Beautiful. And then make your way back towards center. And then I want you to put pressure into all 10 finger pads. Rise all the way up to all fours, your tabletop position. So once here, root down through your left palm and then extend the right fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. Open up through your chest. Lean the base of your skull back, right shoulder back. And then on your exhale, you'll draw your right palm underneath your left rib cage. Rest your right ear to a block, book, mat, if that feels accessible. Cool, and then tent up to the left fingertips. You can crawl it forward or left hand to your low back or nestle it in towards the right hip crease. This is one of my favorite things to open up through the upper back. And simultaneously, we'll get in towards the left inner hip, left outer hip. So with your left leg, instead of sticking it back, I want you to stick it all the way over towards the left. So you should be able to see your left foot right in view. And then notice if all the weight is towards the big toe edge of your foot. Try to drive weight into the baby toe edge so you feel the inner left hip, outer left hip. And then notice your left knee here. You'll take your right hand, either grab a hold of the top of or below. And this will allow you to roll a little deeper onto your right shoulder. Nice. Take one more smooth breath. You will release the hold of your leg if you have it, and then allow your left hand to come closer towards your face. Left knee back to center. Press down through your left palm and then return back. And we'll do the other side. Press down through your right palm, reach the left fingertips all the way up. And then on your exhale, you'll thread. Left hand underneath your right rib cage. Again, you'll reach the right palm forward. You can crawl the fingertips or half bind, hand to your low back, left hip crease. And keep a squeeze through your inner thighs. If you did so other side, you'll begin to extend your right leg all the way out. So then you can see your right foot. And then once more, as you look at your right knee, you'll take your left hand either towards the top of or below your knee. And you'll grab a hold of that, use that as leverage to pull your chest a little closer towards your right leg. Roll a little deeper onto your left shoulder. Take one more big breath. And then slowly release your grip. Bring your right palm back down, right knee back to meet the left. And then return back to all fours, your tabletop. And start to take a few rounds of cow-cat just to get a little more into the spine, decompress through the low back. So drop your belly, raise your gaze, find your cow pose. And then on your exhale, cat pose, chin towards your chest, navel up and in, press the ground away. Nice inhale for cow. And then exhale, cat. Nice. There's a few more here. And you can feel free to add any organic movements that feel good. So I like to shift weight forward, back, side to side, get into my wrist a little bit. And just wag the hips from left, right. So we'll do about 2 more here. All right, 1 more. And then from your tabletop, rather once you come to your neutral tabletop, reach your palms a giant palm print forward. And then once here, allow the head, the chest to drop. And it's almost as if you're sticking your butt up in towards the air. The goal here is to get into your chest. So Anahatasana, puppy pose. Put pressure into all 10 finger pads. Do allow the chest to collapse down. It's a little bit of a back bend as well. Belly almost wants to touch your thighs. Just 1 more deep breath here. Nice. Walk your hands back near your shoulders. Then tuck your toes, roll the hips up and back, find a downward facing dog. So once here in your down dog, you can adjust your stance as you'd like. Feet about hips with distance-ish, hands about shoulder with distance-ish. So know that if you're working with tighter shoulders, tighter upper back, it's almost as if you wanted to take a jar and then fingertips will point a little more or less towards the corners of your mat as opposed to straight forward. And just take a moment, bend one knee, bend the other. Notice the backs of the legs, the arms. You pike the hips up and back behind you. All right, as you come to stillness, roll the right leg up and back in space. And then exhale, bend with the right knee, stack your hips. Let's take circles, shakes, wiggles. Knee the ankle into the air. So it's like lubrication through the right hip socket. And draw the right leg up and back in space. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. So tent up through your fingertips, gaze forward, pull the chest forward. And then exhale, bend at your left knee, tap it down. And we'll do 2 more just like this. Straighten through the left leg. And then exhale, bend and tap. 1 more, straighten through the left leg. And then exhale, bend and tap. This time as you straighten through the left leg, I want you to shift your hips all the way up and back so you straighten through the right. We'll set up for Parsvottanasana, so your pyramid pose. Look at your left foot and then scoot it in about a footprint or so in. Turn the toes out to about 10-ish o'clock, so 30-ish, 45-ish degrees. Here, if you know you're working with tighter hamstrings, you can allow the stance to shorten and any amount of bend into your right knee that you need to do. If you have a block or 2 books, something that can support you, you can place those underneath your palms as well. But I want you to think about a really long spine. So notice if the low back, upper back is rounding. If none of those things are available to you, then just lightly rest your palm onto your right shin. Feel as if you're dragging your heels to meet each other in the middle, so you feel the backs of your legs engaged. Just 1 more breath here. Beautiful. Go ahead and rebend through the right knee. Hands flat to the mat. And then step back, find downward facing dog. So we'll do the other side. Left leg extends. And then exhale, bend at your left knee, stack your hips. So once more, circles, shakes, wiggles here. You feel almost as if your left heel wants to kick your right glutes. And then extend your left leg up and back. And then exhale, draw your foot in between your hands. Once more, you'll tense up through your fingertips, pull the shoulder heads back. And then exhale, bend at your right knee, tap it down. These two more, straighten through the right. And then exhale, bend and tap. Beautiful, one more, inhale, straighten. And then exhale, bend and tap. Now you straighten through the left leg, rather the right leg, my apologies. And then shift the hips up and back so the left leg straightens. Once more, you'll set up for your pyramid. So scoop the right foot in, turn the toes out to about 2-ish o'clock now. And once more, take inventory of the spine. So notice if the low back, upper back is rounding. Support yourself by either coming up a little higher or placing your palms onto something. And then you've got this isometric action. You're dragging your left heel towards the back of the mat, right heel forward. Yes, one more big breath here. And then go ahead and rebend through the left knee. Hands flat to the mat. Step back, find the downward facing dog. Beautiful. Big inhale breath. And then smooth exhale breath. Nice, bring your gaze forward. And then walk your feet towards the top of your mat, feet to meet your hands. So find a halfway lift, long spine, hands side of your shins, your thighs, look forward, lengthen. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, draw your arms all the way up and overhead. So upward facing salute board Bahastasana. And then exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, hinge at your hips. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. And then exhale, deepen the fold. Do 2 more half salutations. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press through both feet. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. It's halfway lift, long spine, upper back engaged. And then exhale, deepen the fold. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press firmly through both feet. Then exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Nice, halfway lift, look forward, lengthen, long, long spine. This time, hands flat to your mat, step back to a high plank. So from your high plank, actively press the ground away from you. You've got one long line of energy from your heels all the way through the crown of your head. And then slowly lower knees all the way down to your belly. We'll set up for Shalabhasana Locust. So arms sweep back behind you. Use the inhale breath, lift your arms, chest, legs. So squeeze everything tightly towards the back body to open up the front. And then exhale, undo it. Slide your palms to your shoulders. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana. So little to no weight in your hands. It's almost as if you want to drag your palms to meet your rib cage and rib cage forward. Exhale, slowly undo it. Nice. One more time, please. Arms reach back. Lift your arms, chest, legs. Everything that'll lift, lift. Exhale, slowly undo it. Palms to your shoulders. Untuck the toes. Use the inhale breath. Lift your arms, chest, legs. So when you dig through the tops of your feet, so much that the kneecaps lift. Exhale, slowly undo it. This time, tuck your toes. Use the inhale breath to press up to a tabletop or plank. Exhale, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Big inhale breath. And smooth exhale breath. Nice. Inhale, gaze forward. And then exhale, feet to meet your hands. Nice. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Nice. One more sun A. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press through both feet. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. So you got a halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. And then exhale, hands flat, step back, high plank. Take a big inhale breath, sustain your plank. So heart wants to lift up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Once you lower all the way down, come in towards a Sphinx pose. So your elbows will be underneath your shoulders and then the palms flat so that the collarbones are nice and wide, chest forward. So once more, we'll get into the upper back through a forearm plank. You can take this at different stages. First will be a modified forearm plank, so you'll come to your knees. Take a big inhale breath, look forward. And then on your exhale, curl your chin in towards your chest, vertebra by vertebra, everything lifts. Lift the hips, lift the thighs, stand your knees or tuck your toes, lift your knees, your shins, you'll come in towards a forearm plank. As you do this, press the ground away from you through your palms, your forearms. Feel your heart lift up towards the ceiling like you would in plank. With control, begin to lower knees, thighs, hips. Return back to your Sphinx. Have smooth inhale breath. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Slide your palms in your shoulders, tuck your toes. And then press up either to a tabletop or plank. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice. Big inhale breath. And then smooth exhale breath. Nice. Inhale, gaze forward. And then exhale, feet to meet your hands, top of your mat. Nice. Halfway lift, long, long spine. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press through both feet. Different this time, palms towards your heart, release your hands to your sides, Tadasana, mountain pose. Nice. Inhale, arms extend all the way up, gaze up. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Nice. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. This time, hands flat, step your right foot back. Keep the right knee lifted. And then turn and ground your right foot, toes out to about 45-ish degrees. From here, I want you to walk your hands towards the right edge of your mat. So about towards the top right corner. And then once you come here, walk your hands as far out as you can. So it's like a hybrid between downward facing dog and a lunge. As you press the ground away from you, drive your chest down, but keep the bend into your left knee. Put pressure into all 10 finger pads so you feel the outer left hip. Press weight into the baby toe edge of your right foot as well. Feel the outer right hip. One more breath here. And then walk your hands back to frame your left foot. Step back, high plank. Beautiful. Inhale, breath. Shift forward, shoulders past your wrists. Either chaturanga, bend your elbows halfway or lower all the way. Inhale into an up dog, cobra, or locust. Pull the chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, untuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step your foot in between your hands. This time, press down through your left palm, reach the right fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. And so I want you to notice the left hip, how it has a tendency to drop. Keep your left hip nice and elevated by pressing your heel towards an imaginary wall. Keep the pelvis relatively high as you reach your right arm up. And one more big breath. And then right palm down, step forward, left foot to the top. Beautiful. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Nice. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana. And then slide your palms towards your heart, release your hands to your sides. Nice. Inhale, arms extend all the way up, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Nice. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. Exhale, hands flat, step your left foot back. Keep the left knee lifted, then turn the toes out, ground flat through your left heel. Walk your hands off of your mat towards the left, and then walk them as far forward as you can. Drive your chest down, put pressure into all 10 finger pads. Same thing, you can kind of think of this as a hybrid between down dog and a lunge, warrior one lunge. And as you keep the bend into your right knee, you're pressing the ground away from you to access the outer right hip. At the same time, be sure to press weight into the baby toe edge of your left foot. Feel the inner left hip. outer left hip. Just one more here. Beautiful, walk your hands back towards center. Hands flat, high plank. Inhale, breath, shift forward. And then exhale your vinyasa. Full inhale, up dog, cobra, or locust. And then exhale, shift the hips up and back, untuck the toes, downward facing dog. Left leg extends. Exhale, draw your foot in between your hands. Once more, keep the right knee lifted, press down through your right palm, and left fingertips reach. And once here, you're using the right hand as leverage so that you can draw the left shoulder a little further back. Continue to take inventory of the right hip, see what's going on with that. Keep it nice and high. Press your heel into an imaginary wall. Nice, one more. And then left palm down, step forward, right foot to the top. Beautiful, halfway lift, long spine. And then exhale, fold forward. Really nice, look at your feet, scoot them as close as comfortable. It feels good for you. Then bend both knees, sit the hips back. You'll come into a chair pose, Utkatasana. So as you are here, sit the hips back so a good majority of your weight is back as opposed to all the weight forward. You should be able to see all 10 toes past your knees. And once here, can you lower your seat even further, almost as if you want your hips to be in line with your knees. Take one more breath, and then fold forward. Nice halfway lift, inhale. And then exhale, deepen the fold. Beautiful. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press through both feet. And then palms drive towards your heart, release your hands to your sides. Inhale, arms extend all the way up, gaze up. And then exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. Exhale, hands flat. This time, right foot back, lower the right knee down. Nice, inhale, low lunge, Ardha Anjaneyasana. So just notice if you have a tendency to sink the hips really far down, instead of back bending, keep the low belly engaged. Press off of your left foot so you've got kind of like 90-90 legs. As you are here, I want you to draw your left hand towards your left hip. Lengthen through the right side of your body as you reach up through the right palm. Then tip on over to your left, create a side bend. As you are here, you'll feel one more big stretch to the front of your right hip. So as you dig down through the right shin, visualize one long line from the knee all the way out through the right ring finger. And then from here, listen, bend your right elbow, hook it to the outside of your left thigh, and allow the left palm to join. Find a twist. So revolve, low lunge twist. See how much space you can create between the belly and the left thigh. Press your palms together firmly, left shoulder up and back in space. Continue to press down through both your left foot as it acts like a suction cup, and then the right shin. One more breath. And then both palms down. Step back, high plank. Inhale, breath, shift forward. And then exhale, chaturanga, or lower all the way. Use the full inhale in your back bend. And then full exhale, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful, right leg up and back. This time, track your right knee over towards your right shoulder. Open up through the right hip. Yeah, then slide your knee towards your nose. Press the ground away from you. Look forward. Right foot in between your hands. Lower the left knee down. Inhale, low lunge, Ardha Anjaneyasana. Arms reach and extend. As you lift up and out of your waist, feel as if you're wearing a corset, lace that tightly. Then allow both hands to frame the right foot. You'll tent up through your fingertips. We've done before, gaze forward. And then shift your hips back. Straighten through the right leg to the best of your ability. So it might be the case that your right heel has to scoot forward just a bit, so the left hip is over the left knee. So you're not here, you're not too far back. You're also not here. Not trying to pull anybody's groin. So as you flex your right toes towards your face, just notice how this feels. You'll create the same action like you did before in your pyramid pose. So it's like you're dragging your right heel towards the back of your mat, left knee forward. If this feels okay for you, this is where you stay. Otherwise, we'll target the outer right hip. You walk your hands to the outside of your right shin, perhaps a little further if you need a deeper side body stretch. Continue to flex your toes towards your face. One more smooth breath here. Hands off to the right. You'll walk them back towards center. Rebend through the right knee. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, and then step forward towards the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, and then exhale, fold forward. Nice. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press through both feet. Nice. Slide your palms towards your heart, release your hands to your sides. Nice. Inhale, arms extend all the way up, gaze up. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. Exhale, hands flat, step your left foot back, then lower your left knee down. Find your low lunge, Ardha Anjaneyasana, arms reach and extend. So come back to that visual, your right foot is a suction cup. You're lifting up and out of your waist, almost as if you wanted to zip up that jacket that's 2 sizes too small. So suck everything in towards the center. This time you'll draw your right hand to your right hip, lengthen through the left side of your waist, tip on over towards your right. And I want you to elongate through the left side of your body like we did in the beginning of class, your child's pose. And as you dig down through the left shin, feel that line of energy from your knee all the way out through the left ring finger, left middle finger. Beautiful. When you're ready, go ahead and bend your left elbow, hook it to the outside of your right thigh, right palm join, so you'll find a twist in your low lunge. And like you did so other side, just notice the right shoulder, draw up and back in space, and you're using your left elbow as leverage to continue to find the hook. See if you can pull your chest a little closer towards your thumbs. One more breath. And then release your hands, frame your right foot, step back to a high plank. Once more, glide forward, shoulders past the wrists. And then exhale your vinyasa. Full inhale into an up dog, cobra, or locust. Exhale, shift the hips up and back, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And we'll inhale, left leg extends. This time you'll track your left knee over towards your left shoulder, then slide it in towards your chest, knee to nose, look forward, left foot in between your hands, and then lower the right knee down. Nice low lunge, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press down through the right shin. Beautiful, hands frame your left foot this time. Once more, you'll tent up through the finger pads, then wiggle the left heel forward, shift the hips back, straight to the left leg to the best of your ability. So you can kind of think about this as your pyramid pose, but your bottom knee is bent. Create the same action as you did so other side, so you can access the back of your left leg. So you've got the posterior part of your hip. You did so other side. You'll walk your hands to the outside of your right shin. You walk it back a little further. Need a deeper side body stretch. Continue to flex your left toes towards your face, your shin. Wherever you are, last breath. Some hands off to the left. Walk them back towards center. Begin to rebend through the left knee. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and then step forward towards the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. And then exhale, deepen the fold. Nice. Feet once more, closest comfortable. Sit down low, find your chair pose, Utkatasana. Nice. This time, lower all the way to a seat. So not Navasana. I want you to come really high up onto your toes. And then tent up through the finger pads. Allow the knees to widen a lot. Heels might touch, which is totally fine. And we'll get into the inner hips. So I want you to walk your hands as far forward as you can, and then allow the chest to drive down. So your feet might be a little further apart if you're working with tighter hips, which is totally fine. And continue just to let the knees butterfly out, sink the hips back as the chest drives down. Take one more big breath. Beautiful. Go ahead and walk your hands back and then just step back to a downward facing dog. We'll take 2 full rounds of breath here. Take a smooth inhale, breath, fill it up. And then smooth exhale, breath, let it go. Nice, one more deep inhale. And then open mouth, exhale. Nice. Please draw the right leg up and back in space. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. This time you'll rise up to a high lunge, crescent lunge, so Anjaneyasana. Arms extend all the way up and overhead. Yeah. So you've got a 90-degree lunge through the right leg, and then the left leg is fully extended. Squeeze through your left glute a lot. And when you're ready, reach your arms out forward in front of you, kind of like you are holding a block. And then right elbow stacks up and over the left. You got 3 options. Back so both palms touch, double cross at your wrists, or give your shoulders a big ol' hug here. Wherever you are, upper back should be nice and broad. Begin to engage through the low belly. Lean forward about 45 degrees so you come really, really high up onto your toes. You have the option to stay here or squeeze through your left glute, lift the left leg. You'll find a warrior 3 with your bound arms, eagle arms. So kick the back wall away from you. Keep the chest lifted as opposed to diving it down. Take one more breath. And then with control, you'll bend your left knee towards your chest. Bend into the right to facilitate a double wrap. And draw the left leg all the way up, over and around, or toes can come out like a kickstand. Now I want you to sit down low, compress everything tightly. Beautiful. And then listen here, undo your arms, and then with your left leg, go ahead and slide the left foot all the way down. So your left shin is in front of your right. Yeah, beautiful. From here, go ahead and hinge at your hips. Drive your head down. If the ground feels far away from you, you can come up a little higher, support yourself with your shins, or if you have one, block or books underneath your palms. So we'll get into the IT band, the outer right hip. If this feels okay for you, this is where you stay. Otherwise, shift your hips over to the right, and then you'll walk your hands over to the left. Take one more big breath wherever you are. Okay, so if you have your hands off to the left, walk them back towards center, and then undo the crossing of your ankles. Halfway lift, and then exhale, hands flat, step back. Optional vinyasa or just hips up and back to a downward facing dog is always cool. Use the full inhale in your back bend, and full exhale, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice. Left leg extends. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Let's rise up to a high lunge, crescent lunge, so you're Anjaneyasana. Beautiful. Continue to squeeze through the inner thighs, pubic bone lifts. And then once more, lengthen through both sides of the waist, reach your arms forward. Nice. This time, left elbow stacks over the right. Either double cross at your wrists, backs of both palms touch, or shoulders get a hug. So anything that feels comfortable for the shoulders. Once more, engage through the low belly. Lean forward about 45-ish. Come high to the right toes. You have the option to stay here. That's cool too. Or shift weight forward, lift the right leg. You'll come into warrior 3. Okay, so any variation that works here for you, go for it. But remember to keep the right hip in line with the left. Kick the back wall away from you. Engage through the upper back, so shoulder blades far, far away. Then with control, you'll draw your right knee towards your chest, bend into your left knee, and then right leg draws all the way up, over, and around. So you're coming in towards Garudasana Eagle. Keep the upper back nice and broad, so shoulder blades far, far away from each other. If you fall out of it like I am, just come back into it when you're ready. Or right toes out. One more breath. Nice, release the arms, and then flatten the right foot, slide your right shin all the way down. So this time it's the right shin in front of the left. Fold forward, hinge at your hips. Fingertips to the mat, drive your head down. So feel the back of the left hip. Let's take one more big breath here. You did so other side, you'll walk your hands to the right, bump your hips to the left. I lied about that, one more breath. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Okay, last one for reals. And then if your hands are off to the right, walk them back towards center. Undo the crossing of your ankles. Nice halfway lift, long spine. And then exhale, hands flat. Optional vinyasa or hips up and back, straight to a down dog is cool. Up dog, cobra, or locust on your inhale. And then exhale, draw the hips up and back. Uddha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Just hang out here in your down dog, 2 rounds of breath. So just start to take inventory of what's going on with the breath cadence, as well as where your mind is. One more smooth breath. Really nice. Take a big inhale, look forward towards the top of your mat. And then exhale, feet to meet your hands. Nice halfway lift, long, long spine. And then exhale, fold forward. Nice, really nice. Really, really gentle chair once more. Sit down low-ish, hips back. And then this time, hands can come towards your hips or towards your heart. I want you to shift weight into your left foot. Draw your right knee towards your chest. Rotate at the right hip, right ankle up and over your left thigh. So figure 4. Now once here, I want you to bring your right fingertips all the way down towards the ground. And then with your left arm, feel as if you want to hug your shin like it's a baby. I want you to try to lift your left shin off of your thigh, but don't actually let that happen. I want you to try to resist that so you feel the outer right hip one more time. At the same time, you're driving your knee down. Again, we don't have a whole lot of apparatuses in yoga, so we have to utilize our own body weight and isometric action just to get a little deeper into this. One more breath here. And then gently release your left hand, release your right foot, forward fold. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, fold forward. Once more, just come into like a laziest chair. And then hands either towards your heart, towards your hips. Shift weight into your right foot, left knee towards your chest. Externally rotate at your left hip, left ankle up and over your right thigh. Sit down really, really low. Once more, left fingertips to the ground. And you'll use your right arm, kind of hug your right shin like it's a shin baby. So your foot is towards the elbow crease. And once more, I want you to use the power of your arms. See if you can lift your left shin, but don't actually let it lift. Your shin is trying to resist that. So then you feel a little more of an opening through the outer left hip, back of the left hip. Just one more breath here. And you gently release the right palm, release your left foot. Beautiful, halfway lift, inhale. And then exhale, hands flat, step back. You have a vinyasa here if you want it, or hips up and back, downward facing dog. Full inhale into your back bend, up dog, cobra, locust. Exhale, shift the hips up and back, Uddha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Nice, big inhale breath. And smooth exhale breath. Beautiful, right leg up and back. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. This time you'll turn and ground the left foot flat. Rise all the way up to warrior 2, so Virabhadrasana 2. Arms reach all the way up and out like wings. And for this first warrior 2, just take a peek at your stance. So I say this all the time, wrists roughly over the ankles. That's how wide your feet should be. And feel the outer hips turn on a lot so that the pelvis isn't at an angle. You want the pelvis pretty neutral. And from here, reach forward until you can't anymore. And then set your right arm on top of your right forearm on top of your right thigh. And then sweep the left tricep to frame your left ear. Come into an extended side angle. So be light with your right forearm wherever it rests. And think about one long line of energy from the base of your left foot all the way up through the left fingertips. Keep the chest open, so left shoulder back. Just one more breath here. Nice, everyone press through your left foot, rise all the way back up, warrior two. Reach forward slightly, then give the back wall high five. Reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. So slide your left hand down your left thigh or create a half bind. But pay attention to what's going on with the right knee. Keep sinking it down. So keep the lunge. One more here. Reach up and back. Feel the right side body elongate. And then exhale, circle the palms down. Step back. Optional vinyasa or hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep inhale breath. Add smooth exhale breath. Nice, other side, left leg up. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Now turn and ground your right foot flat. Rise all the way back up. Find your warrior two. So same alignment to other side. You see that your feet are nice and wide. And then to the best of your ability, hips pretty neutral. Feel the pubic bone lift up. This time, reach forward through the left palm. Torso moves with you. Extended side angle on your left. So left forearm rests on top of your left thigh. Allow the right tricep to frame your ear. So it's another long line of diagonal energy from right foot to right palm. If it's okay with your neck, bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. That way that facilitates the lift of your right shoulder up and back in space. Nice, one more big breath. Be light with your left forearm so your obliques can work. And then press through your right foot, rise all the way back up, return back to your warrior two. Reach forward slightly, and tip up and back, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. Same thing, not so much of a back bend, so you're not lifting your chest up, you're elongating through the left side of your body, reach back, back, back. Like you did on the other side, keep the bend into your left knee. And then on your exhale, circle your palms down, step back. Optional and final vinyasa or straight to a downward facing dog. Beautiful, full inhale, back bend. And full exhale, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice, take a big inhale, breath, fill it up. And smooth exhale, breath, let it go. Nice, one more big inhale. And smooth exhale. Nice. All right, right leg up and back. And go ahead and circle your right foot, step it to the outside of your right palm. So we're going towards a lizard lunge, lizard pose. So if you know that you need to keep your left knee lifted, fabulous. Otherwise, keep it, or rather lower it down. And then right foot scoots a little forward and out just a bit. So stay lifted up onto your palms. You have books or a block available to you, lower down to that. Alternatively, you can lower all the way down to your forearms. If this feels really, really intense, instead of allowing the hips to shift forward and down, go ahead and scoot your left knee a little closer and then shift the hips back a bit. So this will decrease the angle and won't be so intense for the front left hip, inner right hip. Those of you who have a practice of a quad stretch, you can bend into your left knee, heel towards your glutes. Okay, or press down through the left palm, right arm draws all the way up and back. So you got two options here, either hang out in the twist, or to intensify this a little more, drive your right shoulder down. But either way, you're kicking into your hand, but your foot's trying to come a little closer to your glute. Just one more. And then come all the way back up to your palms. So you're not already there. Release your left foot. You have a hold of it. And from here, I just want you to transition to pigeon. So scoot your right ankle all the way over. Cross, lower the right shin down. So you can stay lifted for the back bend. or you can add the forward bend, crawling the hands forward. But just wherever you are, notice the right hip is pretty tight and you're collapsing all the way towards the right. We got some options for you here. So you can either do this seated. We did this standing in our chair. So right ankle up and over the left thigh. Or same shape, you're just on your back. You can interlace your hands behind the left hamstring in front of the left shin. So your option for everybody. Outer right hip. One more time. You can do the same shape, different plane of motion. Be here for 3 rounds of breath, just as you continue to decelerate, saying hello to the hips even more. Nice. One more smooth round of breath. All right, if you are folded, go ahead and rise all the way up to your palms. It's a funky transition, but just go with it. With your right leg, also if you're in a different plane, just come back to roughly this shape. So you'll rise all the way up to your palms, and then what you'll do with your right shin, you'll thread it all the way through and create a 90-degree angle with your legs. So you're kind of on your right glute right now. I want you to use your hands and then pull your entire body so that you're on the bony part of your outer right hip. And right away, you'll start to feel some spinal rotation and big old twist. If this is enough sensation for you, stay here. Otherwise, start to crawl your hands over towards the right. And then once more, you have the choice to stay upright on your palms. You have the range of motion, it's there. You can lower down to blocks, books underneath your forearm, or all the way down to your forearms. And then just continue to release any control that you have of your head, neck, shoulders. Just one more deep full round of breath. And then go ahead and rise all the way up to your palms. If your hands were off to the right, walk them back towards center. You have 2 options to come out of this. Left leg stocks on top of the right, pull yourself to all fours, or press into your left foot, press into your palms, right leg up and back, shake it out. Eventually we'll meet in downward facing dog when you're ready. Nice. All right, last side, left leg extends back. And then exhale, circle your left foot around your left palm. Either keep the right knee lifted or lower the right knee down. As you scoot the left foot forward and out, you can choose your level. So either stay lifted up onto your palms, that's totally cool, or lower down to books, blocks underneath your forearms, or all the way down to your forearms, allowing head, neck, shoulders just to melt down towards the mat. So one more time, accessing the hips here. You did the modification. This time you'll scoot the right knee forward a bit, shift the hips back a bit, just so you kind of decrease the angle. And then if you did so other side, you'll employ the quad stretch. You'll bend your right knee, shift weight to your right palm, right forearm, left arm draws all the way up, over and around. Grab a hold of the foot. You can either stay in the twist, or you want to intensify it, drive the left shoulder down. One more breath wherever you are. You have a hold of your foot, undo it. Everyone rise all the way up to your palms. And then begin to transition towards your pigeon. So scoot your left ankle all the way across. Lower the left shin down. Right knee will have to scoot back a bit. Once more, you can stay lifted for the back bend. Or after taking inventory of your hips, crawl the hands forward and add the forward bend here, lowering down as you'd like. So each side is different. Each practice is different for that matter too. And just notice the left hip. So one side tends to be a little tighter. This is definitely my tighter side. So sometimes I'm not lowering down as much, and that's perfectly okay. Sometimes we want to stay lifted for the back bend. That is cool too. Once more, if there's anything going on with your knee or your left hip, this just doesn't feel good, you can access the same stretch either seated or on your back, interlacing your hands as you'd like. But wherever you are, just continue to decelerate. Yeah, notice the breath. Take one more here. Nice. If you're in a different plane of motion, eventually meet us with your left shin towards the top of your mat. And everybody, as you rise all the way up to your palms, go ahead and slide your left leg all the way across, thread it through. And then once more, pull yourself forward so you're on your outer left hip bone, that bony part. Stay with your palms pointing forward, fingertips pointing forward, or you can crawl your hands towards the left. Lower down as you'd like. But as always, everything that I say is pretty optional. So you know your body better than I do. So just be reasonable with yourself, that's all I ask. If you're lowering down to your forearms, just feel the torso as it kind of wants to melt down and be really, really heavy towards the mouth. Just one more smooth, full round of breath. Feel the twist, the rinse through the low back, mid back, upper back. Okay. All right, go ahead and rise all the way up to your palms if you're not already there. Walk your hands back towards center. You have your options on coming out. Either press through your back foot or stack your left leg on top. And then eventually we'll meet back in a downward facing dog. You are craving one final vinyasa. Here's your opportunity. Beautiful. And then downward facing dog when you're ready. All right, begin to take a deep inhale breath, gaze forward. And then exhale, feet to meet your hands. And recline all the way to your back. Just do one back bend here. So feet about hip width distance-ish. Feet underneath your knees, ankles underneath your knees, hands inside your hips. Take a big inhale breath. And use the exhale to power the lift of your hips, low back, mid back, upper back. You have several options with your hands. Either grab for the edges of your mat, pull out and forward. You got robot arms, dig your triceps, or shimmy your shoulders all the way underneath so it props your chest up. And while you're here, instead of jacking your hips up as high as you can, think about creating length through the low back by lifting up from your sternum, your breastbone instead. Squeeze through the inner thighs, glutes, one more here. And then gently release lower upper back, mid back, low back. Come to your reclined bound angle, Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet to touch knees out really, really wide. Allow gravity to passively pull the knees towards the ground. Feel the inner hips, groin that starts to open up. Allow the spinal column to neutralize. All right, both knees in together like a book. One more twist. So shift your hips all the way over to the right. Knees will fall over to the left. Right arm draws up and out like a wing. If there's any other leg variation that works better for you. Some people like to stick their leg out. They like to bind their legs. Anything that works for you here, go for it. Just one more. And then transition back towards center. Hips to the left, knees to the right. Left arm up and out like a wing. And just feel the sensation as if your upper torso were really, really heavy. You couldn't lift it up. And then once more, feel the twist and rinse through the low back, mid back, upper back. Whatever leg variation you did on the other side, do so here, keep it even. Just one more breath. Beautiful. Transition your way back towards center. We will close this out with happy baby, Ananda Balasana. So blissful baby, knees towards your armpits and slide them to the outsides of your rib cage. You can draw your hands to your shins behind the hamstrings. So the low back, the sacrum, if this part is lifting up whatsoever, instead of grabbing your feet, grab lower down your legs. And rock it out from left, right, left a few times. I like to close this out with a round of lion's breath, so you'll stick your tongue out on the exhale. Do this together. I know there'll be a little bit of a lag, but take a big inhale breath, fill it up. And stick out your tongue, exhale. Nice. Hug both knees in towards your chest, wrap your arms around your shins. When you squeeze all the muscles in your face as you draw your forehead to your knees, make yourself a tight, tight little ball. And then on your exhale, release to your final posture, Shavasana, corpse pose. So arms out, legs out, everything really, really heavy. And just find a few moments of stillness. I personally, some days I feel like a seated meditation resonates a little better with me, so that's what I'll do. That's also an option. Just hang out, give yourself the time, the space to rest, to be still. I will guide you out very, very shortly. You just begin to notice the entire back body, how heavy it is. If your body's telling you to stay resting, stay resting. Otherwise, gently bring some life back into the fingers, the toes, and rock your head on its axis from left, right, left a few times. And then in your own time, extend your arms all the way up and overhead. Give yourself a gentle full body stretch, almost as if you're waking up for the first time. And when it feels right, transition over to your favorite side, the right, the left. Use your bicep as a pillow, supported fetal posture. And just before rising up, find gratitude for your health, your body, the ability to move, to practice, to participate in this community. And then with your opposite palm, press yourself up to a comfortable seat. It's like we were still in class, face to face, hands towards heart center. Keep the gaze soft for eyes closed. Anjali Mudra. Thank you all for joining me from afar, sharing your practice, energy, breath, your presence, allowing me the honor to guide practice. Together we draw the thumbs to third eye center, lift the chin up just a little higher here, where we acknowledge our mutual love and respect for each other. This practice, this community. And then thumbs to the lips to seal in the breath. And finally, thumbs back to the heart where we feel our heartbeat, and this reminds us our hearts beat the same, our blood course is the same. At the end of the day, we're one and the same. Yeah. From this heart space, we bow forward to each other with love and with gratitude. I bow very, very humbly to each and every one of you. Namaste. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. I know some of you got the email where I didn't include PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. So I'll put that in the chat here. If you feel moved to donate, fabulous. If not, all good. I just want this to be accessible, something that everybody can utilize. And then I'll also put this on my YouTube channel later. I'll keep doing this just because I've got a whole lot of time. So if you got any requests, please send them my way. More than happy to incorporate that. But hopefully you feel a little looser, a little lighter. And now more than ever, this practice, we can definitely lean on it a little more. Because I know how easy it is to, fall into that trap of buying into fear, anxiety, things like that. And for me, this practice has been super helpful in being able to get into my breath and my body and stuff like that. So I hope this was really helpful for you. And yeah, come at me with any questions, anything I can do to support your practice. This is literally all I do outside of going to shows on the weekend and listening to music, DJ sets and stuff like that. So yeah, thanks for sharing your time with me.
Do you know what your schedule will be like? Are you going to do the same times?
That's actually a good question. I could definitely use your input. So as of tomorrow, I will be doing 8:15, 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. So if that works for you, great. If it doesn't, let me know. But I'm just doing it day by day. It seems like 5 p.m. also works well for everybody. Yes, no, maybe?
4 o'clock is good for me. 7 o'clock is good for me too.
I like the times you.
Yeah, 5 p.m.
5 p.m. is great for me too.
Okay. Cool. So I will look to do that. And then let me also just include this really quickly for you guys in here. But yeah, thank you. Let me know if there's anything and stuff. Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got it. Yeah. Yeah, if you while we're here, how's everybody doing?
Meh.
Yeah, I feel that. It's good to see your faces though from afar though.
I can't figure out how to restart my video. I was hiding it and now I can't restart it. Next time.
I think so. If you go towards the bottom left corner.
I know there's a button and nothing happens. Maybe next time.
All good. Yeah. If you one of my friends said, like, I'm a yoga teacher, not a tech master. And that's like also kind of how I feel. But yeah.
Can you bring Gia closer? I want to say hi. If she'll let you.
Here.
Oh, you have to go to her.
Yeah, I have to go to her. So here's Max. Yeah.
Yeah, hey, baby.
Yeah, these are my 2 cats. If you have not seen them plastered all over my Instagram stories. Stuff like that, but yeah. Anything else that's coming up for you?